My research falls under the bigger picture of medical physics, which is all of your applications of physics concepts to solving problems in medicine. And so a lot of people think of that as typically imaging, so you've got X-ray, CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, as well as things like treatment of cancer with using higher energy radiation as well. But our research focuses on using what's called X-ray fluorescence, or still using X-rays at a lower energy to excite the atoms in bone and see if we can figure out what elements are there and in what concentrations. We use a different combination of phantoms, which are basically simulated materials of human tissues, to do this, and we use it with a X-ray tube. We line everything up, we expose the materials to that, and then collect the signal that comes out. So this is really important for me in my graduate studies because I'm interested in either going into medical physics or possibly even an MD, PhD program where I'm doing research as a doctor and as a scientist. And so I find this is one of the opportunities on campus that you can combine those concepts together of medicine, biology, the human body, but as well as these physics concepts as well. When I started in this lab, my particular part of the project was focusing on the dose. So if we were to use this technology on a live human sample or a real human, we would want to know how much dose you're delivering to the patient. That's really important. And so I was using these things called nanodots, or OSLDs, a type of dosimeter. Usually people use them in the workforce, like if you're working at a clinic, you would wear one in a badge around your neck just to see what dose you're getting in a workplace. But we're using these and putting them in different samples to see how much dose is coming from the X-ray tube to that. So we would know, again, how much we're delivering to somebody getting a study to see how much lead is in their bone. So that's what I started off on, but I've actually been able to work on more aspects of the project as well, such as analyzing data for when we have the samples and we're trying to figure out what the lead concentration is in them using a different type of detector, as well as making the samples, measuring different qualities of the beam we're using. So I get to kind of do a little bit of everything at this point too. A typical day in the lab, I come in and I discuss with my faculty member for a good amount of time, like where we're at currently, what we want to do that day, what we did yesterday. And that happens almost every day that I come in the lab, especially during the summer, which is where we get the bulk of our research done. And sometimes there are other students as well that I'm working with, maybe taking off some of the load from them on a certain part of the project or giving them something from mine to do. So we all typically have our own individual part of the project we're working on, but it's definitely a team atmosphere. We'll help out and learn what each other are doing as well. I actually feel like I'm part of the research. I'm almost like a colleague and not so much as a student, which is something I enjoy a lot. Being involved in this lab has really helped me develop so many different skills. Everything from thinking about how you would design the experiment, the physical setup, the logistics of the geometry, as well as the materials that we're using, what type of material should we use to mimic a soft tissue, doing literature searches to see what would be best, as well as analyzing data using a program that's very similar to Excel. It's called Origin Labs. Anywhere from also presenting at research conferences, writing abstracts or small papers, talking about my research. All of those skills have been improved through this, so I'm super appreciative of it. Getting to be in a research experience on campus that's longer, it's sustained, you're here every day, you're here throughout the year, it's not just packed into like 6 weeks, is so beneficial to me, and also getting paid for it is a huge benefit. It's not that we do things for money, it's that we need money to do things. So I think as opposed to we're just working part-time jobs throughout the year, now I actually get to do something that's more focused into my future career goals.